So we get a lot of questions regarding sizing of boots. What size do you think I am? How is this width? Well, lots and lots of questions from people online, and it's impossible for me to answer them. And I'm sure anybody will that works in this sort of industry and to do with selling boots and footwear online, get all the same sort of thing. So I just wanted you to give you some sort of idea of what we do if we do a boot fitting. So if we have a customer that comes into the shop, the first thing we try and ascertain is what activities are they doing? What do they need the boots for, or their running shoes for, or what they're doing? So once we sort of figure out what the activities that they're using, then we can have a quick look at people's feet. Do they wear insoles? How wide are their feet? How do they like wearing them? When the last time they actually did have their foot measured? Socks is a biggie. People come in sometimes with no socks, want to do a boot fitting. So we try and get people to come in with the socks that they would normally wear to make it easier for them, because at the end of the day, we want to try and get it done right first time. So customers can use their boots and just feel comfortable that they've got the right size in. So once we've done all that, and we sort of like worked out what boots they want in budgets and things like that, because that comes into it. There's nothing worse than spending over your budget, especially if you can't afford it. It's difficult. So we always try and work within people's budgets. Inevitably now, with if you're buying quality leather boots, you're looking at sort of well over 200 quid. So it's not easy. So I always ask people when the last time they had their feet measured, and 9 times out of 10 it's like years and years ago. And I always say, well, whatever shoes they're wearing at the time, did you get them measured? No. I remember taking my youngest son in for a pair of trainers into a high street shop when he wanted these particular trainers that he wanted. And literally the guy said, what size are you? And he said, well, I'm not too sure. He said, well, what size are those trainers? And he must have said size 12. So I'll go and get some 12s. And I thought, that's a bit odd. So when he come back, I said, aren't you going to measure his feet? No, we don't measure people's feet. We just go off what they already had. And I couldn't believe it. How can you not measure somebody's feet and actually look at people's feet? So that's what we try and do. Look at people's feet. And once we found a boot and we can size them up using a Brannock gauge, or the Brannock device, that gives us an indication, and that's all it is. It doesn't mean to say that if you're on a measuring a size 9, you are definitely going to be a size 9. Depends what socks you wear. Do you have to wear insoles? What have you been wearing in the past? Because what I normally find is that people, customers, if they've been wearing footwear that is what I would think would be a little bit too big and they're used to it, then that's what they're going to go with every time, something that's that little bit bigger. And on the other flip side of that coin, some people like wearing their boots quite tight. So I always look to see what people have wearing. You work with a customer. So once we've sort of got an idea, we can bring boots out of maybe 2 or 3 sizes around what they are, and we can let people try on. That really is my job done. We let them go to try it, and they generally make their own mind up what they prefer. Right, so what I normally find is that once we've measured and we've got the boots out here and people try them on with the socks they would normally wear, and we try and replicate exactly how they would do, they normally would make their mind up within the first 5 to 10 seconds when they put a boot on. I can generally see it. And that's really interesting to see that happen. Of course, not every time, but normally people, they know it straight away. You obviously get some people that walk around and they want to try things on, but what we normally do, we want somebody in these boots for sort of 5-10 minutes just wandering around and trying to just to see how they feel. And then you can obviously try sizes on which are up and down of what they would normally be, just to see. And there's normally about 4 millimeters between the half sizes. So you can get a pretty good tailored fit, and you know, generally speaking, it works successfully like that. Now, what you find is that once people have got that confidence, they can go ahead and they make their purchase and they're happy. Online purchasing is really difficult, isn't it? Because you can't get a boot fitting. You might live somewhere, you might not live down in Devon, or you might not live up in Richmond, or wherever your local dealer is for the particular boot you want. So it is very, very difficult. So all I would say is, when you're thinking about it, think about the socks you would wear, think about the insoles. The classic one we normally get is somebody will come in or contact us, say, I don't think you'll have any boots for us because I've got really wide feet. And I say, well, how do you know you got wide feet? Oh, well, so and so told me. I said, well, was that, you know, have you been measured? Have you, you know? No, I've just got really wide feet. And I look at them and go, nope, it's not wide. But that's where it is. Everybody's different. So that'll just give you some idea about, you know, boot fitting, you know, how difficult it is to do this remotely. You know, you can't, you know, we've had customers before sending us templates of their foot. You know, you just can't do it. It just doesn't work. You really need to be in front of you. But what we normally find is that we're pretty good online. You know, the customers, you know, that we speak to, we've got a pretty good success rate of getting it right once we talk to a customer and find out what socks they wear. And you know, that's important, because the last thing I want a customer to be doing is, you know, coughing up for 2 or 3 postages every time something goes wrong. So there we go. I just thought I'd try and answer that question the best we can, and you know, just to make it easier for you and to try and get the job done properly straight away, and to save you people some money on postages and one thing another. So just keep all them things, bear all that in mind, and hopefully it helps you. See you all later. Thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.